O nosso convidado define-se como um mastermind na área do Metaverso. Faz parte do Fórum Mundial Tecnológico e do Conselho Técnico da Forbes. Foi ainda destacado pela lista Progress 1000 e ocupa um lugar de mérito dentro dos líderes tecnológicos mais influentes em Londres. Neste Panorâmica vamos estar à conversa com Kumardev Chatterjee sobre as características do Metaverso, a forma como se integra na sociedade e as mudanças que este espaço virtual poderá ter no mundo real. Kumardev, the technology behind the Metaverse is evolving, and the aim is to include many aspects of virtual reality. Thus, it is difficult to define the Metaverse. Many, in a general perspective, say that the Metaverse is a digital world coexisting with the real world. What characteristics make this a unique space?
Let's start with the context. The Metaverse is not a radical new invention that arrived from the skies. It is a result of the evolution of the internet over the last 30 years. So the first idea is the immersion. The user are immersed in the experience, that you're not watching it from outside. The second idea I just mentioned is about the concept of reality. When you use the metaverse, it will feel very real. A metaverse is not about either VR or AR. It's about a combination of these to create mixed reality.
And what experiences does the Metaverse offer?
The first experience is that of reality, as in the real world. Second is AI. AI plays a central role in any metaverse because you're not going to be only talking and interacting to your own avatar. You will have one or more avatars, some of which will be powered by AI. What you need to look at over here is that the experience is artificial intelligence augmented reality in an immersive environment. I know it's a lot of words in one sentence, but that captures what the essence of the metaverse is.
A recent survey conducted by Axios demonstrates that people are currently more likely to fear the metaverse than to be excited about it. What may lead to this skepticism?
Yeah, we are overhyping the metaverse. We're talking too much about what it will do, but without specifying that this is going to take some time. And so when people look at the existing proto-metaverses like Horizon World and others, they go, hold on a minute, this doesn't look like anything like Avatar 3D movie. This doesn't look like Star Wars, that I'm immersed in a Star Wars movie. What's going on, right? And I think that is where the skepticism is coming from. To get over the skepticism is very simple. You'll have to work with the real metaverses when they come out, play in them, immerse yourself in them, build communities, and then suddenly, one day, we will not talk about whether it's real anymore. It will be real.
Given the economic, social and digital inequalities around the world, which are mirrored in the lack of access to technological experiences, can the metaverse aim to become universal?
Well, the first answer to that is that there will be verses or metaverses, right? There'll be multiple metaverses and we'll call them the multiverse in the end. You're going to have a lot of these metaverses around the world, number one. Number two is that some of them will definitely address inequality because, for example, you may not be able to afford a very fancy sports car and go and do a vacation in a very fancy location in reality. But in the metaverse reality or in the meta reality, you might be able to do that at an affordable cost or even for free with advertising paying for it. Second, I think education will be much more widespread through the metaverse and will be much more interactive. And so not everybody will have to go to the top schools and universities in the world paying a lot of money to be able to get top quality education in a way that they can learn better and that they can implement better. So will there be a metaverse divide or parts of the world that are metaverse adapted and not? Yes, there will be, because fundamentally you will need a lot of bandwidth in terms of telco, in terms of internet infrastructure. So whether it's 5G or 6G, you will need that. And you will need high quality screens, you will need some immersive equipment. And not everybody will be able to afford that. There will be countries and regions that will not have 5G, right? And so initially, I think the divide will increase because the ones that have 5G, 6G, and the income level to afford all of this is the West, and there the adoption will be very fast, while in other parts there will be no adoption. So you will see the division actually grow. But ultimately, I think we're coming back to this point of co-creation. If we bring communities across the world into the co-creation and co-development of the metaverse, I think we will go a long way in creating a metaverse, or metaverses by design, which are better adapted to inclusivity, to making sure that other communities that are not just one or two can be well represented and can find their space within the metaverse.
According to a study from Gartner, it is predicted that metaverses technology will develop at a fast pace. Therefore, this virtual reality might become the future of the virtual world, in which people will be allowed to have multiple immersive experiences. The question is, are we doomed to live in the metaverse?
To me, the question is more, can you live only in the metaverse? And I think that we will come to a point in society, not in the next 5 years, but in the next 15 years, where yes, you could functionally live almost entirely in the metaverse, and the physical world, you just get sustenance and do the basic things you need to do to keep alive. Everything else could be done in the metaverse. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it'll be good for some, bad for some, and completely unacceptable or unsuitable for many others. But it'll come down to what people want, right? The internet, the same thing. I remember when it started, people said, oh, who needs the internet, right? And a lot of bookshops said, oh, nobody wants to buy books online. Book buying is an experience. You come to the shop, you sit down, you read the book, you talk to the shopkeeper who's very knowledgeable, you exchange ideas and opinions with other book buyers, and then finally you may or may not buy a book. And today Amazon is one of the world's biggest booksellers, right? And I don't think you're going to go and have a coffee in Amazon bookshop with some other user. But in the Amazon bookshop metaverse, you could probably do that. The question remains is that, and maybe you want it, for some people, the immersive experience will not only complement the physical experience of life, it will complete it. And they would prefer to be doomed to live in the metaverse and outside. For the majority of us, though, I think we will have a good balance between a metaverse augmented reality and a standard reality. For some things we'll use the metaverse more, for some things we will do in the real world more, but overall there will be a balance. The system, I believe, always finds a balance in the end.
Kumardev, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you once more for this interview.
Thank you, Thomas. Great honor to speak to you.